Hello everyone, it's Mish here, and today we're going to be doing another card in the card a week till Christmas. So the card we're going to be doing today is this little one, and this is a pop-up flower card. And I think that is just so sweet. I first saw this card about 7 years ago, and it was on a channel by, I don't even know how to say her name, Aniko Dabiezis. I'll leave her link in the description below. But I thought I would recreate that card here today. So what we're going to need is we will need a card base, and this card base measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if you take a letter size paper, it's basically just cut that in half at the 5 1/2, and then take your piece of paper and fold it in half, and that gives you a card base. So for the inside of the card, I'm going to put down just some patterned paper. You can use whatever you have, of course. This is also, scrap busting as well, because you just use what you have. So I just want to put this kind of on the inside, and I'm doing this now so that I can let this panel completely dry. And I'm just using a little bit of Elmer's glue. I often just use tape runner for my cards. The thing with any kind of glue is it can warp your paper. So for cards, especially when I use this thin patterned paper, I like to use the tape runner. But today I forgot to put my tape runner close at hand, so we'll just use this. The other thing about using glue is it does allow you some wiggle room so that you can readjust something, especially if it's something with a small border around it. But okay, so we've got some background paper on, so that's fine. Just going to set that card aside. Actually, we'll do the front. For the front, I've just cut a couple little panels. This first panel measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I'm just gonna put this on the front, and I'll put it at an angle just to give it a little bit of interest. And then this layer measures 3 1/4, 3 by 4 1/2. So it's just 1/4 of an inch smaller than the mat behind it. Okay, and then I've just got just a little bar, a little piece of plain cardstock, a little band, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So basically it goes across the 4 1/4, and then it's about 3 1/4 wide. Okay, and then I just took my die cuts. You could cut a circle out, you could trace a mug or something, or if you have a punch, then you can, or a different sentiment. It doesn't have to be round, it can be square, or and then I just stamped a couple flowers. Again, just use what you have, or draw it, or just have some that are already prepared for you. And I'm just gonna pop those up just on some dimensionals. Dimensionals are just foam tape that's been cut into squares. But before I do that, I have these little adhesive beads, pearls, that I got. I think I got these at the dollar store, and I just want to add a little bling to the center of the flowers. If you couldn't find colored ones, you can also take just plain white ones and color them with an alcohol marker. So you just color the little bead, let it dry well, and then you can have it to coordinate to your inks. That's a little quick hack. Sometimes I forget about doing that. So we'll pop these up on some dimensionals, and we'll get our card base sorted, and then we'll work on the pop-up. Okay, so there's the card so far. We'll just put that aside. And then for the flowers, you're going to need 7 square pieces of paper. These are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. They're square, and you're going to need 7. 6 and then 7. Okay, and so then what you're going to do is you're going to take each of them, and on the diagonal, you're going to fold them in half. Okay, and then turn them, and you're going to fold it in half again. And try to get it quite even. At this point, I often just take my bone folder and press down the folds. Then you're going to fold it in half again and press that down well. Okay, so you're going to do that until you get 7 of them. So 2, 4, 6, 7. All right, so then you're going to draw a shape like this. So I just, on them, if you can see here, I just drew that shape. And I drew them on each one. You could draw it on one and then use the other one as a template, but if you start to get off a little bit, then that makes it all off. And where you're going to draw that is, if you look at your piece of paper, you have a fold side and you have another side where there's a fold. So the 2 sides that you have folds, you're not going to cut that. The top bit that I'm holding up here, there's no folds, okay? It's just papers. There's no actual fold bit there. So that's going to be our top. So you can just hand draw it. I already hand drew this one, and I prefer it going so that the main fold, so just the one fold, is on the right hand side, but you can do it however that you want. And then you're just going to draw a little half circle there. And then you're just going to cut that out. You're going to cut all 7 out, like so. And then when you open it up, you have a couple hearts, and a couple more hearts, and a couple more hearts. So you have a flower, but it actually has 8 petals, and we only want 7. So you can do your decorating now, which is what I would do, and then cut it out. Do the next bit in a minute. So we're gonna have 7 of those, and to decorate them, so I've already got them a lot of them pre-done. Okay, so what I did to decorate these is I should have had all these open, but there's 3, 4, 5, 6, so I can get that open. So we've got 2, 4, 6, and 7. So how I decorated that is I've just taken a little finger dauber and an ink pad, whatever ink that you like, and I've just done a little bit in the center. And then the other thing you want to do, which I haven't done with these ones yet, is go all along the outside edges. It just makes it pop a little bit more when the card opens up. And you only need to do on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. You don't have to do two sides, because we're gonna cut those. So you're gonna go along and you're gonna do that with all 7. All right. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of the petals and you're gonna cut it out. Doesn't matter which one. So you just cut out a petal like so, and then put a little glue on one of the petals, and you're going to tuck that in behind. All right, so then you're going to have a flower like this with 6 sides, 2, 4, 6. All right, and then just fold that flat so that it looks like this. All right, and you're going to do that with all 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to tuck this one in behind to make 3 petals. Okay, then flatten it down. And there's 2. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is our last one. And then that will give us 7 flowers. And we'll tuck this in behind. And we'll flatten it. Okay, so we have our 7 flowers. So now we want to start to layer or stack our flowers. So we're going to take the first one. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter which one. Okay, and you're basically going to put some glue on this petal just at the top, kind of just where that circle is, and that petal. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I should get a bit darker. I don't want it to show through though. So just here and here. 1, 2. Okay, so then we're just going to do a little bit of glue in that spot. And then we're going to take two of these and we're going to add that on there. Okay, and I angle mine just a little bit up like that. I find it opens a little bit better if I angle it just a little bit like that. And we're going to do the same on the bottom, is we're going to add one of these, and I like to angle it a little bit. Okay, so then once we get that down, we're then going to put some glue just on, if we have it angled so that the open mouth is to the left, we're going to put 1, 2, 3 dots of glue. So 1, 2, 3 dots of glue. And we're just going to lay one smack down on top of it. Okay, so that's going to be your middle flower. When it opens up, that is the middle flower. So then we're going to, excuse me, we're going to then put some glue here, 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 and here. Okay, so if the mouth again is still to the left, that middle petal we're not going to put any glue on, but we're going to put a dot of glue on the 2 above it and the 2 below it. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, and then we're just going to take our piece of paper, another flower, and lay it down on top of that, and then on top of that, so that we're keeping the same shape. All right, so our dots of glue had been on this petal, and this one, and this one. All right, and then lastly, we're just going to get our side petal on, and we want it a little bit towards the top there. And we're going to put our glue there. Oops, I didn't. We're going to put our glue on this one, and this one. And then this is our other side flower. So we can then put that down. All right, so then I just kind of level it out. And you can, what I sometimes do is I have another glass mat. I have a glass mat. And I sometimes just flatten it out with my glass mat and then maybe set something else on top of it, like my water bottle, just to let that really set up and make sure that glue is dry. Because if the glue's not dry, it's just, if the paper's not completely dry from the glue, then the mechanism's just not going to work. Okay, so so you can give it a little trial just to make sure that bits aren't stuck together that's not supposed to be stuck together. Okay. Perfect. So there's your pop-up. Okay. That's so cute. And so what we're going to do with our card base, right here, it's underneath the my pearls there, is that we're going to try to kind of match up the point there with the center of the card, and we want to give it a little bit of space so those petals will open. And then you're just going to put a little bit of glue here on, and then flip it over, and you're going to put a little bit of glue here. So you can put your first bit of glue down and then kind of eyeball where you approximately think the middle is, giving yourself some room for the petals, and then you can just push that down, then put some more glue on and press your card base down on top of that. And that's as easy as it is. Then you can, I'm going to be impatient and try to open it, but you should let that dry, get that good and dry before you start trying to open it. You can have a writing space on the back, so you can write a little note there, or before you actually put the pop-up into the card, then you could write on your panel on the side. And then you have this little pop-up card. So if you like today's demonstration, please give me a like. Be sure to check out the other cards in this playlist. And you know, I'd love for you to subscribe. I do have some journaling playlist and some collaging. So be sure to check that out. Leave me a comment. And until next week, I hope you have a great week, and bye for now.